supposed to pretend everything is perfect and everything is good, and I'm not there, or I'm not doing well mentally. I cannot cope with this. I cannot cope with either being with those people, or I cannot cope with being alone. I cannot cope with the pressure that is put on the holidays for them to be perfect. I cannot cope with my life not being perfect, as we discussed in the other video. Hi everyone, and welcome to Not Your Perfect Yogi channel. Today's topic is gonna be around mental health and the holidays. This is Not Your Perfect Vlogmas. If you haven't seen the videos that I've put out until now, you can have a look. I'll put a link up here. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm sharing at the moment one video a day about heart topics, mind topics, anything that concerns us and kind of helps us wrap up the year and kind of free ourselves of emotions, of any negative or even positive emotions, letting them out. Okay, so the topic of mental health. I'm a bit reluctant to talk about mental health in general. I think the term has become pretty much a buzzword in a sense. It's been used a lot. Sometimes it's vague, sometimes it doesn't talk exactly about how deep the problem goes. But on the positive note, it touches on things that before we wouldn't have spoken about. And although some mental health issues might be minor in the eyes of others, they can be pretty hard on each one of us. They can be pretty hard on individuals. Just things like loneliness, things like frustration, things like desperation, feelings of abandonment, feelings of not belonging, feelings of wounds that haven't closed from our childhood. These are all things that can come up during the holidays. I think the holidays can be a lovely, lovely season, but at the same time, they can be such a hard season to deal with, again, from that lens of non-perfection. The expectation around Christmas, around all the festive holidays in December, November is, oh, family reunites, wonderful, peaceful times of closeness and love and sharing food and sharing good experiences and all of that. And you know, like that's the marketing for it. And then you go to your family Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving and you feel mostly scared or frustrated, or you feel like this doesn't look like the commercial I've seen on TV. Like, my relatives are not all peaceful or loving or in the best of moods, or maybe I don't have anyone. Maybe I'm spending Christmas on my own. Maybe I'm spending Christmas with a small set of family members. Maybe, yeah, it can happen in many ways that something doesn't go as in the TV commercial. Something doesn't go to plan, and that can be the moment where memories of early childhood are triggered. A lot of what we call trauma nowadays is unprocessed trauma that we have gone through at a time in our lives where we weren't able to deal with emotions. The fact that we're dealing with trauma even now many times is rooted in something that happened in our childhood where we weren't at that age, we weren't at that moment to be able to process that. Maybe there was violence in the family, maybe there was just awkward silences or bad atmosphere, maybe there was critique, maybe there was anything that has to do with you feeling not belonging there or not understood. You might have had these feelings when you were a child, and you are just now put in a situation where actually all of that comes back, but in a just in the undertones, comes back in the background, comes back in yeah, in somehow in your soul, somehow in your subconscious mind, but you might feel on the outside that, oh, I am supposed to pretend everything is perfect and everything is good, and I'm not there, or I'm not doing well mentally. I cannot cope with this. I cannot cope with either being with those people, or I cannot cope with being alone. I cannot cope with the pressure that is put on the holidays for them to be perfect. I cannot cope with my life not being perfect, as we discussed in the other video. My life not being there where it's supposed to be. My life not being picture perfect, advertising perfect. And that's a moment where it hits us, and that's a moment that can impact our emotional health. For the rest of the year, we're also very busy. We're busy at work. We're busy doing stuff. We're busy with our friends. We're busy, busy, busy. That's the moment where you need to come back to yourself. You need to come back to your family. You need to come back to whatever it's actually at your origin, whatever it's at your core. And you need to be happy with that. And many of us haven't dealt with what's at our core. Many of us haven't sorted out what's at our core. Many of us just walk through life and ignore the issues that we have, ignore the issues we have with our family, ignore the issues we have with ourselves, ignore the loneliness, ignore the pain, ignore all of that, ignore until you need to press the button and it comes out. You know, it comes out in the it comes out in the family dinner. It comes out in the moments of silence. It comes out when things are settled down and everyone is supposed to be happy. Because here is the trick, guys. I'm allowed to do this video, or I feel confident of doing this video, because I know this is affecting more people than not. The feeling of not belonging, the feeling of not having things perfect, the feeling of having not dealt with things that have to do with your childhood, with your inner being, with everything that where you come from, that's more often happening to people than not. So I would even guess or dare to say that the majority of us have dealt with this or are dealing with this, but no one is talking. We just put a nice glossing over it and we go on, or we numb ourselves and we continue, overeat, overdrink, over whatever just not to feel it. And I just wanted to make this video to say that that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly normal because so many people are going through it. I mentioned, I think majority of people are going through it. So knowing that it's okay to put on the shiny brave face. I love the holidays as well. It's okay to make it all nice, but it's okay also to acknowledge that you're not happy about certain things in your life or childhood, or you know, like identity even. And most of us aren't. There are some issues that we haven't processed. And it's not the time to process them over Christmas, but it's okay to say, okay, I know for the future, if I ever feel sad again, it's not the holidays that are getting me down. It's that feeling of being alone that I haven't worked on for the rest of 365 days in a year. It's not this one day. It's not this one day with the family. It's not the family. It's that feeling that I haven't processed. And you can take it and put it on the New Year's resolution, sort it out next year, in the sense of just sit with it a bit, accept it, and say, this is what's happening to me, but it's not, I'm not alone. it's happening to so many other people. And I just need to accept it as a part of life. I need to process it. I need to overcome it in the sense that I know it happened to me. I know it's not right. I take steps towards improving this for myself, because no one else can take it now. Now I'm a grown up. I need to work on myself, and I can do it for myself. And I know that actually this doesn't define me. And being sad on a festive day doesn't define me either. I can take on the good parts. I can celebrate the nice parts. I can discuss what I want to discuss and not discuss what I don't want to discuss. But I shouldn't let this moment of happiness drive me down. So if you guys are feeling alone in this, if anyone is feeling like I'm not there where I'm supposed to be again, or my family is not what I need, or I'm not surrounded by people that love me, or all of this, just learn that more people than not are feeling this, and it is perfectly okay. But it's also perfectly okay to take the good parts of these holidays and take the opportunity to connect to those people that actually make our heart more happy, to those people that actually we can share joy with. Take the opportunity to expand joy and not put the pressure on us to have it perfect and have only joy, but to grow that joy that is already there. The little piece of joy can be always grown. Long talk, guys, but I hope this is helpful for anyone watching. Let me know how you feel around the holidays. If anyone has a different perspective, if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, I think it's really important that we just talk openly about these things, and that we just don't put so much pressure on ourselves to have it all perfect. I'm not your perfect yogi. The light in me sees the light in you, and this is why I do these videos. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.